converse. Let's sip and converse.
Let's talk about it.
Sip
And converse.
How's it going? How's it going? Welcome to Sip and Converse. Mr. DJ, how's your week been going?
Yeah. It's been a fabulous week. We're back again, Crib.
Before we dive into our next podcast situation, make sure you press that like,
Ding,
subscribe,
ding.
tell a friend to tell a friend so they can be part of this
Tell somebody.
enjoyable,
Yes.
uplifting,
Hey.
educational,
Well,
life-changing podcast called Sip and Converse.
talk about it.
We got it. If a poor frog won't croak in his own pond, what is it doing there? So we gotta edify ourselves sometime, DJ.
How was my frog sound?
Oh, that frog right there need a little more, just a little bit more energy. Try it again.
Rivet.
We have to get the grandkids and let you know how you sound.
Okay.
So what's our topic today, brother?
I think it's forgive and let go.
Forgive and let go.
Ooh.
Forgive and let go. All my listeners, what do you think forgive and let go means? Put it in the chat. Join us.
Yeah.
Don't just listen. Hit the YouTube chat and let us know what you think forgive and let go is. Chris,
Yeah.
let's break it down. What's the difference?
Well, first of all, I want to see what our listeners say because I want to see what they're talking about when it comes to forgive and let go because everybody has their own perspective.
Everybody's been through it.
Oh, everybody.
Everybody's probably living it right now as we speak. So if we put a one in the chat or hold your hand up, wave at the camera like we can see you. If you're going through this moment right now where you got some forgiveness that you know you need to do,
Absolutely.
or you got something that you know you need to let go and you just haven't did either,
Mm.
or you did one and not the other. You can't have pancakes without syrup.
You can't.
Dude, that's dry bread. You're choking.
Well, I've been some places where you have bananas or strawberries. I don't care for that, but
I don't know about that. So you can't forgive and not let go.
that is true. That is
We're
true.
not telling you forgive and forget,
Yeah,
but you gotta let it go.
you got to let it go.
So let me ask you this: why do some people consider forgiveness as approval?
Why do they consider forgiveness as an approval?
Yeah. So that's why they won't forgive.
You know, as human beings, we all have the tendency we want to be validated for everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think the reason why most of us want the approval of forgiveness because we want to be validated for how someone wronged us. And, sometimes we all been guilty of this. We have wronged someone without us even knowing that we wronged someone.
When that happens, whose fault is it? Is it the person that did the wronging? I know that's incorrect English, but the person that did the wrong, or the person that was wrong not letting it be known that, hey, when you did blah blah, this is what it did to me.
Well,
Because if I did you wrong, I don't know I did you wrong unless you tell me.
I put it like this. It depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It could be both parties that wrong. Because sometimes we could know that we might be doing wrong to a person, but we go on with our actions anyway.
True.
Because that person didn't say anything.
And we disguise as I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah. Or I'm just kidding or joking around with you.
Right.
But we know that whatever someone is doing towards us that makes me feel hurt or feel ashamed or is messing with my ego, we should be able to come to that person, take them to the side or whatever, or alone, and let them know whatever you're doing with our family, with a group of friends, whatever, that makes me feel some kind of way. Please don't do that again anymore.
Yeah, I think too sometimes the reason when I ask you about why forgiveness isn't approval, I think some people will feel like if I forgive this person, I'm excusing them for what they did to me.
Yeah.
When that's not actually true. The forgiving part is not excusing the hurt or the pain that was caused. It's excusing you're not excusing what's happened.
Yeah.
But if you hold that within, it does more damage to you than it does to the person that may not have known that they did the wrong or didn't care that they did the wrong.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important that you have that conversation with the person that you feel who has done something wrong to you, because you're not really healed until you don't get healed because you go talk to someone else about your situation. You're healed whenever you confront your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And your situation is it's the thing that's causing hurt to you or the person that's causing hurt to you. Until you confront that, you always going to feel some kind of way.
Yeah, I want to ask the audience that's listening on, when have you struggled with the difference between forgiveness and approval, since we're talking about that part? You know, when have you struggled with forgiving somebody? I know one time I was done wrong, and it goes back to the job situation, but
Yeah.
I didn't know I was holding it. I got passed up for a promotion.
Okay.
And I had to be honest, bro. I held on to that couple of years with that particular manager.
Well, let me ask you this. You didn't go flip no tables or nothing at the
No,
job,
I
did
ain't
you?
flipped no tables. It was just I put on that I have a tendency.
Okay.
You know how people be reading their astrological signs with their Aries and such.
Yeah.
Some of it's true with the characteristics. When I'm through with you, I'm through with you. And when you go to that category of me putting you in this category, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't have to be disrespectful, but if we got issues, we'll resolve the issue. But at the same time, I don't care about hearing about your wife, your kids, what
Yeah.
you're doing outside. If we here for this project, that's all we're talking about. And then I'm gone. So it became, when I got passed up for that promotion, although I was qualified for it, it became that with that manager.
Oh, wow.
Only time I'm going to talk to you is this meeting that's on our Outlook calendar. And if it's for 30 minutes, I'm going to talk to you for 30 minutes. When the meeting's over, I don't have nothing else to say to you. So if I'm out talking to my other coworkers and you come around and join the conversation, I would tell my coworker, all right, hey man, I'm about to head on to my desk. All because you came along. Because I don't have nothing to do with you. So I realized I was holding on to that forgiveness.
Yeah.
And it kept me like that for about 2 years. That was before I started reading books and understanding and getting the idea of my emotional intelligence.
Because you was actually hurting yourself when you realized it.
Because all jokes aside, the person that made that manager that made that decision, when we finally talked about it, it wasn't their decision. It came from above them.
Mm.
So with the respect of them holding their job and not losing their job, they just did what was told to them. But I took it as a personal gripe and not looking at it from a business perspective.
And let me ask you this. When you realized you got passed up for the promotion, did you have a conversation with that manager and ask him what was the decision why you didn't make the promotion?
I did. After I got, that's how I was able to determine that it wasn't that manager's decision. He was told by his directors to pass me up because they were bringing in one of their buddies.
Well, you didn't ask him at the initial beginning.
Oh no! When I realized I didn't get it and saw the new person, it was your fault.
So you put yourself in pain for 2 years when you could have had a chance to have a conversation.
No pain. At least I didn't think it was no pain. At least I didn't think.
But that's what we want to put across to our listeners. What prime example what Larry just pointed out. Sometimes we jump to conclusions about things, and like you said, you had no idea until 2 years later that it wasn't his decision. He just followed protocol.
Right, and I would say, going back to the pain situation, I wasn't physically hurt, but what the pain came in was the lack of the relationship that I could have developed with
Absolutely. That's the point I wanted to bring out.
Yeah, that was where the pain came in.
Yeah.
That we could have been farther along in our work relationship, and they're a great person.
Yeah.
But I put that person in, caused them pain because they're trying to figure out what have they done to me,
Yeah.
and instead of both adults having a conversation and talking about it, you know, I would be in what I would be in. I was Riverdale in that thing.
So you ride off Thomas Road.
Thomas Road, Riverdale Road, Roberts Drive, Rings Crossing for the real Riverdale people.
He ride at the job talking, I'm straight from the Dale.
You don't know. 501 Roberts Drive, baby. But yeah, like I said, the pain that was created was not on me. The pain that was created was unnecessary.
Yes.
Now, how do you as we go through the process of forgiving and letting go, how do you create a whole healthy boundaries when choosing to forgive?
One of the things, as I was preparing for this talk, we must first acknowledge our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
We must acknowledge why we're hurt, what brought us to the point where we're at, and not wait 2 years go by
True.
to see, okay, what brought us to this point? Was it something that I initiated that got us there? Because a lot of times we'll say somebody did us wrong, and we won't take no ownership,
Accountability.
Mm-hmm. that might have gotten us to a point with the other individuals that put me in a position where I'm mad at somebody right now. Because like I stated earlier, we all are guilty of doing things. It's not always intentionally, but we might do some things just based off our own personal characteristics, that because we might do something in our culture that's cool or normal, where it might offend someone else in a different culture or where they come from.
True.
And so we don't take all those things in consideration. At least I didn't when I first joined the military. I'm immersed with people from all walks of life, from all parts of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And, in my mind, I'm from North Carolina. This is how we do things, and this way it need to be. And that's not the case.
Right.
You immediately, or in the words of Bernie Mac, the late Bernie Mac, or immediately, you with people from all walks of life, mm-hmm. and then you go overseas, then that's another culture that you're dealing with. And so you can instantly offend somebody, and they're big mad at you, right. And you don't even know it.
And with the unforgiveness, forgiving and let go, it's a hidden cost associated without doing it.
Yes.
And you kind of touched on it a few minutes ago when we were talking about pain. That was a hidden cost.
Yes.
That I didn't know existed, because that, having that resentment for that individual for whatever they may have done to you or whatever you feel they did do to you, having that resentment drains you.
Yep.
And it's interesting that when we're mad or we holding something against somebody that did something to us, they're going on and living their life.
Yep.
And you're trying to figure out, why is it that each time I see them, they're smiling and carrying on, and they know they did me that way.
Absolutely.
So you're sitting at whatever social event or whatever business conglomerate you're doing with the attitude, it's killing you from the inside out.
Yes.
They're carrying on, and now you're telling yourself another story. Look how fake DJ acting. He know he hurt my feelings, and DJ still don't know. He don't know, but that hidden cost.
Yeah, I can say it's not nothing I did on my own, but nothing but God has helped me at such an early young age, just to learn to forgive people. Mm-hmm. And just move on with my life, because I know I have hurt a whole lot of people,
right?
Just intentionally, and just by living, unintentionally, just living
the life,
living the life, and I've gone back years later and asked people for their forgiveness for the way I've done things around them, to them. Mm-hmm. Have everyone forgiven me? Some have, maybe some haven't. But I have gone back and done those things, asked for forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Yes, people have done me wrong, and I had learned how to let that go, because you know what? I refuse to continue on in life and be mad about something that I had no control over or had control over.
Gotcha. I know. When we thinking about the forgive and let go, what would be some signs that you're holding some forgiveness, or you haven't let go? We'll say, "Yeah, I forgave such and such," but then you ain't let it go.
Oh, well, I see it all the time. I'm not gonna say it's me, but like with relatives,
Mm-hmm.
when I say my family on my mom's side, we always having social gatherings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So certain relatives ain't gonna come around because either they haven't forgave or they feel certain guilt because they done did something wrong to somebody else.
Right. I've seen it where the tension and the stress kicks up.
Yeah.
And I've seen where people who say they have forgiven someone, but when the person walk in the room, they talking about, "Ooh, my head getting hot."
They get the pat in their
They
head.
get a pat in their head, or just that person being in their surrounding.
Yeah.
They blood. Old folks. Ooh, my blood pressure going up. We're like, what's your blood pressure going up for? They done walked in the room, but I thought you forgave them. I did, but you didn't let it go.
Exactly.
What are some signs that you may be carrying additional old hurts? Because we could tell ourselves, I forgave them, I let it go. But what are some old signs that you may not, you giving it lip service at this time?
I can say this for me, Crib. At the age that I'm at now, I can honestly say I'm not carrying any old hurts. Mm-hmm. Maybe while I was still in my 20s, but I was still immature.
Yeah.
Still needed some growth spiritually, mentally, whatever. I might have said I was grown in my 20s, but I really wasn't. I was still smelling myself.
I'm grown. I'm grown, like to me.
Yeah, I'm grown. That's what I was saying myself. But nah, where I'm at in my life right now, I can sit here and honestly say I don't have any old hurts. Mm-hmm. I forgave and let it go.
Yeah, I think too. Signs that for people to probably pay attention to, if they feel like they haven't let go, is avoidance.
Yeah.
If you see, like we were joking a few minutes ago, walking in the room, you talking about your head hot. If you're still months later, years later, seeing that person and you get mad, you haven't let it go.
Yeah.
Like you may not have had a conversation with that person since you said you forgave them, but if you're still avoiding them, if you don't want to have nothing, I don't want nothing to do with them, as folks like to say, you're holding on to that old hurt.
Yeah.
Because I think if a person really, as an individual, if I forgave and I let it go, I should be able to come up to you and not feel away.
Yeah.
I should be able to shake your hand, speak to you, and it not be false or be fake.
Yeah.
You ain't putting on for everybody else. Because everybody else, you done told everybody around you that y'all done had beef. Now everybody watching and the tensions in the room are up to see how you react when you know they come. You said it on them reality shows people be watching. They be like, "Oh, we having a lunch dinner, but such and such is supposed to be coming. If she coming, I'm leaving."
Yeah, and I caution my wife all the time about don't get so caught up watching them shows because that spirit of stuff that watching them shows is going to transition into you, and that's how you're going to start acting yourselves.
Okay, yeah, because we do tend to act how we see others react.
Absolutely,
that's what irks me about our people sometimes, but that's a whole nother conversation.
We pin that and let our producer right there know that
that might cut that out.
No, let him know that's gonna be another topic later on down the road.
Because you react to a lot of things in life how you saw others react.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly feeding the brain all the reality show reactions,
absolutely,
before you know it, you're reacting the same way.
You got it. You hit it right there on the nail.
So what's some steps to let go?
For me, a man of God is, first of all, you need to pray sincerely with all your heart.
And not just like, now lay me down to sleep.
Exactly.
Or is it,
You need
dear
to,
God, get him.
hey, Crib, I'm about to be country ready with it. You don't just need to be specific, but you need Pacific too. When you say,
You know, or you know, Crib, when you say pray, you know, you don't need like, God, you know what he did to get him. That can't be your prayer.
Nah, that can't be your prayer.
Don't go to your color purple days. Everything you done to me. Yeah, so I get you. Yeah, definitely take it upstairs.
Take it upstairs.
I'll say write an unsent letter.
You
know,
that's good.
Write it out, get it all out your chest.
Yeah.
Even if you cuss, put it on the paper. Cut it up, light it up, burn it, get rid of it. You know, my church folk will be like, I don't cuss your shout, dude. Don't tell that lie. That lie don't care who tell it.
Look, they cussing in the parking lot all the way up to the altar.
All the way to the altar. As soon as they get out the altar and they ask for another offering, you cussing right there in the pew. So yeah, write an unsent letter.
Yeah.
Speaking of an unsent letter, it's a website out there. They don't give us no promotion, but it's one I've done before. It's a letter to you.
Okay.
So you go to the website, you put your email address in there, you write out to your future you. And it'll send you that letter whatever time frame later. So I did one that was about 5 years apart. So I titled it like, look at you and look how great you're doing now. And when I wrote it out, I was like, when you read this letter, I will be done did A, B, C, D, and E.
Okay.
And it sent it like 5-6 years later. I did it right when me and Shantae got married. And I was like, if you're reading this letter now, you're going to have a kid, blah, blah, blah. And when the letter kind of came back to my email address, boom, I read through it. And everything I put in that letter happened. So power of the spoken word.
That's a good thing you didn't change email addresses either.
Show this. Oh, you know, you got that one legacy email. You keep that legacy email. So yeah, write it down. Some people journal.
Yeah. I'm not a journaler. I love to write, but just journaling, that's not my thing. But that's a great idea, though.
I got some journals at the house that ain't all of them blank pages. I'm gonna give me a journal. I don't feel like journaling, and I might get a page in. Hey, and I feel so funny sitting there writing. Well, this is how I'm feeling, but it's part of forgiveness.
Yeah.
What else can you do? Some people meditate. But when I think about meditate, I always think about Tina Turner show, her movie. When she talking about dumb your whole day.
Nah.
That's what I be thinking when I hear meditate.
I ain't
so I'm
doing
like,
none of that.
hey, that can't be me. And I know that's shallow, but yeah.
Yeah.
Find an outlet. Some people find an outlet. Some people go to the gym.
Yeah.
Some people run.
Or you walk. I mean, those type of things. Like when I go run or walk, I'm not taking no calls. I'm not checking no text messages. I'm not doing anything on my phone. Sometimes I listen to music or inspiration talks, or sometimes I ain't listen to anything at all, and that's part of my meditation.
I do that in the car. Like I get in the car and won't have nothing turned on.
Yeah.
And I just hear the tires on the road, and the engine is just. I don't want to hear no other outside noise. I want to be me and my thoughts.
That's good.
Another thing I think a step to take to rebuild, to move forward or to let it go, is rebuilding the trust. How would you rebuild the trust in a person that wronged you?
That's a great question. I would invite them out to lunch or coffee or something, and just develop some small talk from there.
What if the person don't want a coffee? Not a coffee, but want to meet with you?
Well, I would accept their them not wanting to meet with me, and just accept the fact they don't want to do that from there. And but I did forgive and I did let it go, and I just continue to pray for that situation.
Yeah, and leave that invitation open. That's always there.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes rebuilding that trust, you got to be able to rebuild the trust without reopening the wound.
Absolutely.
So if I say that, I forgive you, I'm letting it go. Now I'm rebuilding my trust. I don't need to start my first conversation out. Well, you remember when you did this. This is the only reason I want to rebuild trust. No, you can't open the old wounds. Let me see what else.
We're
moving from, I would say moving from the why to how.
Yeah. But as we wrap this up, Crib, one of the things I do recommend is throughout this whole process, seek support. You can either seek counseling, a good friend or a family member, someone that you trust, but continue to seek support and not try to do this alone. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we think we have the own strength that we can carry ourselves through this whenever we feel hurt or betrayed, and we really can't. True. Again, I said, for my first choice, I'm seeking prayer through God to help me, give me guidance and wisdom, and asking him to point me to or get the right people in my lives to help me walk this journey as I'm going through whatever situation it is. Mm-hmm. What about you?
If I wanted the listeners to pull something out of our talk today, is to develop 3 takeaways to run your race in your forgiveness and let go. One would be, first thing you got to do is acknowledge the hurt.
Yeah.
Once you acknowledge the hurt, figure out what you're willing to release. It might have been multiple things that they hurt you on, but during your process to forgive and let go, choose which ones are easier for you to release first.
Yeah.
You may be saying that you're mad and not forgiving because they didn't call you, but that may be the surface level.
Yeah.
But to get down to the root cause, you got to first release that one. So decide what you want to release. And then decide, replace the resentment with something positive. Which, like you said, either seeking outside counseling, taking, getting on your knees and praying about it. But that resentment, start to figure out and point out and uplift the positive things that person have done for you.
Yeah.
Instead of just focusing on that one, that one hurt that they may not known that they did.
Yeah.
And if they did, you started your healing process by forgiving and let go. So what are some positives of those individuals? Because they didn't just come in your life without something positive there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that, we've been talking about forgiving and let go. So listeners, what are y'all going to do? Put in the chat. What's one thing that you can do this week to either begin to forgive and let go of something in your past? Chris?
I agree. As we stated earlier, we all have been guilty of hurting someone in our lives, either it's been intentionally or unintentionally. Mm-hmm. And we all probably walk around here right now not realizing that we hurt someone, and they're looking for us to apologize for whatever we did to them, and we probably don't even know that. However, if someone has hurt you, forgive them. And if they don't know that they hurt you, but you still feel hurt, reach out to them and have a cordial conversation with them and let them know, hey, you did this to me. You don't even know this, but I just want to bring this to your attention. But hey, I'm forgiving you. And I want us to move forward in life and no regrets in me or yourself leaving this earth and not knowing that we had this going on and we can move forward happily and doing some great things in life.
And you know what's great about that? That's the perfect time for you to get your merchandise, get you a tumbler. That way you can sip and converse as you go through this road of forgiveness and letting go. With that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. See you next time on our next episode. Glad to see you and have a wonderful day.
Sip and converse. Peace.
Let's sip and converse. Let's sip and converse.
Let's talk about it.
Sip
and converse.